Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing my monthly favorites. I actually skipped January because a lot of the products that I've been using is basically what was my roundup of my 2017 favorites, which you guys probably have saw. And if you didn't, do check out the links below. It summarizes everything that I loved in 2017. But today I'll be following up with my February 2018 favorites. Seriously, it's already February and I am seriously loving a lot of new launches. Yeah, I'm just going to share with you a few skincare, a few kind of makeup items that I've been loving, and some of my old favorites. So let's just get started. Alright, so I really have been liking this sunscreen at the moment. It's from Thank You Pharma, which is a Korean brand. You guys will probably see in the close-up a little more carefully. It's SPF 50+, and it's a Sun Project Light Sun Essence, and basically it's super amazing. It looks really opaque, but once you massage it into the skin, it kind of dissolves into an essence-like texture. It feels like, you know, a very nice kind of an essence that just melts into the skin, and I really like it for touch-up on top of makeup. I find that it works really well, and that being the case, this sunscreen has been looking really well under my makeup. It doesn't bunch up in different areas. I'm not sure if you guys experience this, but when you apply your makeup, sometimes it kind of, there's some eraser dusting that forms on your face because maybe the foundation or the brush kind of rubs against each other, causing friction, and they kind of coagulate for some reason. But yeah, this sunscreen just works incredibly for me, and it's just very light. I love how it just turns into a watery essence, which is the main thing that I look for in a sunscreen. So the second item is actually the Paula's Choice Clinical Ceramide Enriched Firming Moisturizer. I got sent this by Paula's Choice Singapore, and I've been using it ever since, alongside with my Liquid Gold Moisturizer. I interchange between those two. But this has a very nice substantial pump, and it's something that I've been using, just testing out, and I find that I really like the consistency of this. I'm typically picky in terms of how it feels on my skin because I generally get oily throughout the day, and if it makes me feel really greasy, it's not for me. But this is really something that I gravitated towards. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but likewise in the close-up, it's a kind of yellowish kind of a texture, and also it melts away so beautifully like an essence. And I find that this is a little bit thicker, which for me always doubles up as a primer for my skincare before my makeup. And I love using this because it's like, it's not super thick like a rich cream, but it's not super watery like, you know, any liquid type serums. It's just something that sits on my skin very well, especially because I have problematic skin. If I pile on too many heavy layers of skincare before my makeup, everything starts to look really weird. But this provides a very nice kind of adhering base for my foundation when I put it on top of my skin, and it does leave a little bit of a tacky finish, but I love that kind of a finish when I'm going to apply foundation on top. Another item from Paula's Choice, this is the Pore Clarifying Charcoal Gel Mask. It comes in a squeezy tube, and I just love charcoal masks, and I love that this is not too thick or chunky on my skin. It feels like something that decongests my pores in a very kind of sensitive skin appropriate way. It doesn't tighten it too much. It just feels very gradual, if that makes sense, and I love it because I generally go through charcoal masks, and I'm not really particular about which brand I use, but after using this I feel like I might actually pick this one up, and it is suited for all skin types actually, except dry. But if you're dry skin and you have enlarged pores, this would be a good one to use just to get rid of the congestion. Alright, so in the recent month of February, it's been Chinese New Year, and I've been kind of experimenting with different looks. So this Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette, I know, beside my face it kind of looks super massive, but these are so good. If you guys saw my tutorial or my review on Natasha Denona Sculpt and Glow palettes, they look exactly the same. They're not pink, they're kind of just a sculpting palette with creams and highlights and powder highlights and contours as well. This similarly has a row of creams and a row of powders. Let me just show you an example inside one of them. So as you can see here, this is called the Citrus palette. The top row is creams, the bottoms are powders, and basically Even this shade right here looks a little too bronzy, but I like to use it as a cream bronze all over the face. A lot of times with illuminators, how I like to do it is that I apply all my cream products before, and even if they have shimmers, I will take a very light setting of powder over everything, a translucent powder, and I find that takes away the shine but it still maintains that really soft lit radiance. So I really like how this has come together on my skin. These two highlights right here, it's called the Diamond Powder as well as the Glow Extreme, and really accurate to its name, it's the most blinding type of highlights you will ever see. And I find that it does contain like crushed particles of pearls and stuff like that they claim, but it really reflects on the cheek like nothing else. If you are a highlight kind of collector and someone who is just super interested in highlights and you know, just can't get enough, I thought the Becca was holy grail status for me, but this is seriously amazing. This full palette is seriously a steal. It's quite expensive, but you really will not run out of this ever. I think that the product is super substantial and it will last you like maybe a year plus or even 2 years of continual use. This is called the Citrus palette. As you can see, it has this really iconic yellow shade which translates on the cheek kind of like a lime shade, and it's very kind of, I would say, you know, Fenty Beauty has the Trophy Wife kind of a highlight which is like a green gold. This is a true yellow gold kind of a highlight, but more yellow, but on the cheek it just isn't too much for some reason, and it looks really good. If you guys want to see this citrus palette in action, I'll leave the link for my YouTube video on my Chinese New Year look below. This is called the Darya palette, and as you can see, it's a little bit more wearable. The top row is basically just, you know, a lot of blush shades which you can use in terms of layering to achieve a very dimensional blush look instead of relying on heavy use of contouring or sculpting products. What this palette intends to do is just, you know, create a dimensional appearance by using highlights, shimmers and blushes so that, you know, you can achieve a very nice multi-dimensional look, as I mentioned. So yes, this is the Darya palette. So enough about that. I've also been really loving the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. As you can see here, the packaging is like a baby pink velvet. This is the back. You open it up, it comes with a mirror and these really gorgeous shades. Inside here, it's more of a pinky kind of tone which swings with a little bit of a incorporated warm tone. Certain shades at the bottom row kind of go a little bit orange. So I find that this palette surprisingly actually works for me for some reason. Today I actually achieved a cut crease kind of a look using the warm tone shades right here. I've used these two, this brown and this orange here, and I must say that, you know, it looks really scary because a lot of it is like just really bold and out there, but I think that it is just a gorgeous palette. It's super pigmented. A lot of people complain about the fallout, meaning that, you know, it's really dusty, but personally, I always control the use of my shadow pigments really well. I kind of just dip my brush into it and dust off the excess on my hand just so that I build up the pigment in a very gradual fashion. But on an everyday, like I mentioned, I'll just pick up one of these shades and dust it all over my eye. So it's really versatile as well. For you guys thinking about picking up this Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, Beauty Bay sells it as well. Links will be down below. Alright, so that is my favorites done and dusted. If you guys enjoyed it, do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you have been loving as well in the comments below. If you have any questions or any other recommendations or anything you want me to review, do let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!